People who unknowingly save someone's life. How'd you do it? I was having the worst day of my life. Just got fired from my dream job for something that wasn't even my fault. My girlfriend had broken up with me the week before, and my car had broken down that morning. I was walking to the coffee shop near my apartment, basically broke, planning to nurse one cheap coffee for hours while I figured out what to do with my life. The line was long, and I noticed this girl ahead of me was counting change over and over. She looked exhausted, like she hadn't slept in days. Her hands were shaking as she counted the same coins repeatedly. When she got to the counter, she quietly asked for just a small black coffee, the cheapest thing on the menu. The barista told her it was $3.50. She counted her change again. I watched her face fall as she realized she was 60 cents short. She started to walk away, looking absolutely defeated when something made me step forward. "Wait," I called out. "Add whatever she wanted to my order." She turned around with tears in her eyes and whispered that she just needed the small coffee. I told the barista to make it a large with whatever she wanted in it. But that small moment was just the beginning of something much bigger. She sat at a corner table, and I couldn't help but notice she wasn't drinking the coffee. She was just holding it, staring out the window with this blank expression. Something about her seemed really off, but I didn't want to intrude. I figured everyone has bad days. I finished my coffee and left, forgetting about the interaction entirely. I had my own problems to deal with. Job searching, figuring out my next move, trying to rebuild my life after everything fell apart. 3 years passed, I got back on my feet, found a better job, met my now wife, Sarah. Life had completely turned around from that terrible day at the coffee shop. Last month, Sarah and I were at our engagement party when a woman approached me. She looked familiar, but I couldn't place her. She was well-dressed, confident, with bright eyes, and a huge smile. What she told me next absolutely floored me. "You probably don't remember me," she said. "3 years ago, you bought me a coffee at the shop on 5th Street. I was the girl who didn't have enough money. I vaguely remember the incident, but told her it was no big deal. Just a few dollars." Her face grew serious. That day was supposed to be my last day alive. She explained that she'd been planning to end her life that morning. She'd lost her job, been evicted from her apartment, and felt completely hopeless. She decided to use her lost $3 to buy one final coffee before going through with her plan. When she couldn't even afford that coffee, it felt like the universe was confirming she didn't deserve to be here. But then I stepped in. She said that simple act of kindness from a complete stranger made her think that maybe there were still good people in the world worth sticking around for. Instead of going through with her plan, she spent that day in the coffee shop holding that warm cup and decided to give life one more chance. She called a crisis hotline, got help, and slowly started rebuilding. She told me she'd graduated college the year before, just got promoted to manager at a nonprofit that helps people in crisis, and was engaged to an amazing man she'd met in therapy. She'd been looking for me for 3 years to say thank you. I stood there completely speechless. This successful, radiant woman was telling me that a $4 coffee had saved her life. I had no idea that while I was having the worst day of my life, someone else was having what was almost became their last day. She handed me a card. It was an invitation to her wedding next month. She said she couldn't get married without thanking the stranger who reminded her that kindness still exists when she needed it most. At her wedding, I gave a toast about how sometimes we save each other without even knowing it. How the smallest acts of kindness can have the biggest impacts. How that $4 coffee taught me that even on our worst days, we might be someone else's answered prayer. She's now a crisis counselor who's helped dozens of people through their darkest moments. All because one stranger bought her a coffee when she needed hope more than caffeine. I still buy extra coffees for people short on change. You never know who needs saving.